We already got some people in the comments. Wow, that was quick, guys. Christian, Andy, good morning, y'all. How are y'all? Good to see you guys. Yeah, so, anyways, guys, of course, this is Patrick, and we do physical and financial fitness talk in the mornings here, Monday through Friday. I got Christian and Andy on right now. There's going to be some more people on. Andy said he's doing good this morning. Fantastic, Andy. Of course, you guys know I always have to start with appreciating what we've got. I always do that. Sometimes I come out here by myself and just look at the glory of which we get to live in. This beautiful little mountain over here that we always get to look at. But I love looking at this gorgeous view. It's just a beautiful sight. So always start our days off with being extraordinarily thankful for what we already have. And so anyways, what we're going to do today, I figured, guys, is first of all, be thankful for what we have. We live in a beautiful world, man, and we're all blessed to be here enjoying this experience. So we start with our blessings, and then we get to work, man. So we're trying to get in our best physical and financial shape we can possibly be in. That's the game. And really what I think, guys, it is kind of a game, isn't it? At least it makes it more fun that way. Okay? If you can think of it like a game, play it like a game, have fun. Yes, Christian, you are blessed. But we got to have fun at this, guys. If it's not fun, we won't do it. So, let's try to improve our physical and our financial fitness to a point where we're happy with both. And that's the point of me coming live here in these videos. Of course, y'all know. So we're going to get cracking, guys, because I know Christian and Andy are on here, and some people will be jumping on here eventually. So what we're going to do, guys, today, I thought, is first of all, we're going to do our favorite day of working out, because it gets you motivated to be able to come on after you've had a weekend and after you've been chilling and, doing your thing with your fam or whatever, because I like to take weekends off. I play some golf and do that. But it always seems like Monday is the hard part. Getting out of bed on a Monday is tough. Oh, that's okay, Andy. I see Andy said, I've got work to do today, man, so I'll be on and off. That's cool, Andy. Don't worry about it. But if you're just coming on, of course, my name's Patrick. We talk about physical and financial fitness on here, try to get in our best shape ever, physically and financially. And today we're going to talk about a couple cool things while we do the favorite day, right? To get yourself out of bed in the mornings on Monday, to get yourself ready to rock, get working out, right? Get that first day out of the way in the gym. Monday's always pretty hard because usually we chill on the weekends. And so I always set it up to do chest day. Most men like to do chest day and arms and upper body, and that, of course, we know. But I like to do that on a Monday because at least you're doing your most fun or most exciting exercises on a Monday, and at least it helps to get you out of bed and get you going. And I figure if we can get Monday knocked out, then we just got to work on Tuesday. So today we're going to do some bench presses, some shoulders, and those fun kinds of workouts. But what we're going to talk about for the financial side of things, y'all, isn't my daughter's new bike dope? Look at that thing. But anyway, we're going to talk about, I figured the apartment developments are a fun conversation. Most people that I know are not developing apartments. We are. So it's kind of cool. Like if you would have talked to me 5 or 6 years ago and said we'd be developing apartments from the ground up right now, I would have called you crazy, right? So we're going to talk about the apartment development, so you guys can be able to ask questions about what it is to take a raw piece of land somewhere and build an apartment building. You guys know we're building 32-unit. Yeah, Christian, definitely hard getting out of bed. We're building a 32-unit apartment building in Palm Bay, Florida. It's a new build, and then directly after that, we already have a property prepared to build a 48-unit property. So if you would, we're building a 32 and a 48 unit. 48 unit is ready to pour foundation. And then we have two 16-unit properties that are ready and another one under contract so that we can get that permitted. So we plan to build 1,000 units. We're building 1,000 apartment units, somewhere around there is our guesstimate, but 1,000 apartment units from the ground up out in Florida. And we live out here in San Diego. So I thought that that might spark some fun conversation with you guys because it is fun, right? It's like if you would have told me 5 or 6 years ago I'd be building apartments from the ground up in Florida right now, I would have called you crazy. But the opportunities that come when you're in the game sometimes fall right in your lap, and you're able to take advantage of those things if you're prepared. So we're building some apartments in Florida. I know a lot of you are interested in real estate investing. A lot of you are interested in notes when I talk about notes for cash flow and things like that. But don't forget, man, we're all real estate centric. And so building these apartments might be a fun conversation. You might have questions about the experience of building apartments or how I got involved or how it works and how much money is going to be made. Who knows what? But I don't know, guys. You know somebody who's actually building apartments from the ground up right now? That's me. So you guys can ask questions about it if you're curious, right? What a fun thing to do. Building apartment buildings where people are going to live and raise their families. And it's just exciting, man, because, building is really cool. When I talk about mortgage notes, yes, Christian, please go by the site, man. Christian asked if he's in Florida, can he go by my job site where I'm building these apartments? And the answer is yes. You guys can drive by. It's a building there, and you can take a look at it. It's in Palm Bay, so it is a bit away from Miami. Palm Bay is in Brevard County. It's on the East Coast, Space Coast of Florida. You guys know they call it the Space Coast because they launch rockets over there. Into outer space, so to speak. All right. So, yeah, we're going to talk about the apartment developments. And, of course, as Everly May Capital Group, as the fund manager, of course, we do accept investor capital. So we raise investor capital, guys. That's how we get it done. If you guys don't understand the way things are done at scale, you usually have to learn how to raise other people's money. We talk about that on this show all the time, almost every morning. Because I want to be repetitive so people get it in their head. If you're going to scale a real estate business, buy an apartment building, build an apartment building, buy a huge portfolio of notes, stack doors, and become a rental expert, you're going to need to learn how to raise other people's money. It's a skill you need, right? So anyways, fun. We'll talk about the apartment builds. But I think on top of that, guys, we can talk about our referral partner program, because I know there's a lot of people that come on this show and visit with me in the mornings what perhaps may need some extra cashola, right? We all need some extra cashola on the side. So guys, that's what we're going to talk about today. The apartment builds in Florida, they're called Coconut Palm. We named the developments Coconut Palm Apartment Developments. And right now we're about 75% of the way complete with a 32-unit apartment building out there. So that one's pretty much getting towards what we call the last mile. And so the land was purchased, the permitting and the entitlements and the approvals were accomplished through city and state and federal. And we got approved then to build a 32-unit building. So I don't know if you guys know that that's an interesting caveat of building anything. Generally, that piece of land has not been approved to be able to build something like that on that piece of land. And so I don't know if you guys know, but to buy a piece of land is one thing. But then to survey that land and to figure out what the city and the state and the federal will allow to be built on that land, and to go through getting your permits in order to be approved to build it, environmentals, entitlements, being able to get the city, the water, the electric, everything, guys, is more than half the battle. I didn't realize how involved it was when you look at buying raw land and then going through permits and entitlements to be able to build something on it. I didn't realize that was like half the battle. When you look at building an apartment building, you think, well, building the darn thing is the big deal. Building the building is the big deal. It's really actually not. The building process vertically, once you pour a foundation and start to build an apartment building, is actually the smoother part, I guess you could say. And I don't want to say easier, it's all difficult, but just to buy the raw land and to get that thing approved to be able to build an apartment building on it is way more involved than I ever thought it would be, right? But as we get into new things and new ventures, we always learn. And boy, did I learn. So here's one thing for you guys. I hope it gets you frustrated. It got me so frustrated. It got me so frustrated that I said, if I ever hear the word gopher tortoise again, I'm going to pull all my hair out, okay? You guys, get this, okay? We bought this land. We're getting all the permits and getting things ready. And one of the things you have to do is environmental. Did you know that there's things called gopher tortoises out there in Florida? Can you hook me up, Christian? Christian's in Miami. They got these guys called gopher tortoises that are out there in Florida. Do you know what I'm talking about, Christian? A gopher tortoise. So, guys, this is crazy, right? They have these gopher tortoises out there. They're like tortoises. They're only this big, like little turtles, right? Tortoises, not big, giant desert tortoises. They're like this big. They're called gopher tortoises. And get this, in Florida, because the land is pretty soft, it's all sand out there. Like out here in California, it's granite, right? You can't even take a tractor and dig. You got to use dynamite first to blow the side of the thing up because it's all granite and hard ground out here in California. Out there, it's real soft. And there's a lot of sand in the ground in Florida. Well, there's these gopher tortoises out there in Florida, which is crazy, guys, that go for a little hole. That's why they call them gopher tortoises. They dig a burrow, like on land, they dig a burrow, and then they live in this burrow, like little gophers underground, these tortoises. And did you know that you have to get those physically removed by a professional and relocated as like an endangered species before you can even put a shovel in the dirt and do anything to the land? They say you can't do anything there. You can't get on the land and do a shovel on it, nothing, unless you relocate those gopher tortoises professionally. Well, I want you guys to guess. Just craziness, man. I want you guys to guess how much did it cost in the permitting and entitlement processes. Yeah, Christian, you've never seen one. You've heard of them, never seen one. Dude, check this out. It's crazy. That's why I said if I ever hear the word gopher tortoise again, I'm going to pull my hair out. Gopher tortoises have to be removed by like an environmentalist, that works for the city. And so they come out there, and let me tell you something, guys. They come out there and they make sure the gopher tortoise is there, and then they grab it up out of its burrow like you would just grab a turtle, right? You grab the turtle grab it, and I think they may tag it or they may not. I don't even remember. They may tag it or they may not, and then they take the turtle and they professionally relocate it to a different property where it can dig its new burrow and chill, right? Like a turtle sanctuary. Do you know how much it costs? The Reality King said $6,000 each. How did you know that? But isn't that wild, dude? $6,000, and it might have been $6,500, but let's call it $6,000. Yeah, $6,000 per gopher tortoise to have the environmentalists come to the land, the piece of land, pick up the turtle and remove it. Yeah, it was a good ass guess. They remove it, and maybe they tag it or they don't. I don't even know. And they put it to a different property. I'm telling you guys, it's crazy how much of a money grab a lot of things are in this game. But cheaper to make turtle soup, Andy. Exactly, man. I thought, you could just kind of go out there at night and maybe grab them and move them over there to a different place. Here's the craziest thing. If you're in environmentals and they have gone out and they've noticed that you have an active gopher tortoise burrow on your property, what happens is they say it's an active gopher tortoise burrow. They sign it that it is, and from that point on, because they've identified that there's a gopher tortoise burrow out there on your land, if they find out that the gopher tortoise is removed, because they'll stick really close to what's up, Booba? They'll stick really close to their burrow. So when they build the burrow, they stick close to it. They don't bounce. And so they know that if they come back a couple days or a week later and the gopher tortoise has been removed, guys, which is as easy as grabbing the turtle and walking it over there and putting it somewhere else. If you do that, they stop your building project and they fine you. I was like, whoa. So if you're just hopping on, guys, we're talking about the Florida apartment builds. So we're building some apartments from the ground up out there, a 32 unit and a 48 unit. You guys know I'm all about real estate investing and cash flow, but we got involved in building apartments out in Florida from the ground up. It's really fun and exciting. So I thought maybe you guys would have questions about the experience and how the hell it goes and what you do and all that. So first of all, we have to raise other people's money. The 32 unit building is like $6.5 million all in. What's up, NJ? Good morning. But guys, get it. A 32 unit apartment building. To buy the land and title, permit and all that, and then build a 32 unit apartment building, it costs about $6.5 million. You know darn well that I don't, and I would never have because I'm an investor, but I would never have $6.5 million sitting in a checking account, like of my own money, so that when I get ready to finally do a big project like this, like go build an apartment somewhere, which is pretty fun, that I start being able to just write my own checks and start paying people to build the apartment. That's not how things are done, guys. So most smart investors would never be sitting on 6.5 million bucks liquid anyways. They would have it invested elsewhere already. So guys, most wealthy people don't use their own money. So why should we? Okay. Most extraordinarily wealthy people that could afford to write their own check to build the building or to build the apartment or whatever they're going to do, they can afford to do it. They won't do it themselves with their own money anyways, because they have the skills, the knowledge, and the ability to get the project across the table. And they know that other people will invest with them to get it done. So understand that theory, you guys. So we have to raise $6.5 million in order to do this thing, right? Okay. So anyways, guys, talking about the 32 unit apartment build in Florida, we've got the 48 unit ready. And I thought you guys might be curious and have questions about the process of what it is to be someone going through this, right? Buying raw land, getting it entitled, getting the city and federal behind you, and being able to actually build a 32 unit apartment building and complete the project and then exit and get your investors and you paid. It's a really interesting thing. So I thought you guys would maybe be curious about some questions. And then here's another thing too, guys. As we get into more information about the apartments and stuff, we're raising capital currently, right? Because we're going to finish off the 32. We're about to start the 48. We're going to do the two 16-unit apartment buildings for another 32 total. So here we are building these apartments, and we have a referral partner program. I know a boatload of people that come on this show in the mornings wouldn't mind having extra cash. So my partner and I, we decided we're going to create a referral partner network around the United States where people like you can refer us potential investors to our fund that may like to invest into apartment buildings or real estate investments. And people like you could be talking to somebody and refer over an interested party that may have money to invest to our fund and make money by doing that, just by being a storyteller and sending people our way. So anyways, guys, we're going to talk about the apartment builds in Florida. And I thought maybe we would discuss the referral partner program where people like you can make extra money, right? Just by telling our story. So anyways, talking about physical and financial fitness with Patrick. Today, physical, we're going to start doing some shoulders and some chest. Hopefully you guys will start chiming in with some questions like I believe Andy did. How do you decide where to start? Are you talking about how do you decide where to build, what piece of land to buy? Or Andy, are you talking about where the hell do you start when you're thinking about perhaps building a piece of real estate? But guys, we're going to get into some shoulders and some chest. So I'm going to start kind of getting into a workout where I'll stop blabbing my mouth a little bit. I just wanted to set it up for y'all because I know I'd have been curious, man. If I knew somebody that was building apartment buildings from the ground up, I would have asked a whole bunch of questions. How do you do that? What the hell's going on? Like, that's really cool, right? And again, guys, I would have never thought that we'd be building apartments right now if you talked to me 5 years ago. So it's about that trek of going down a different path and then allowing different types of people to come in your life, different opportunities to present themselves, and you just being prepared, maybe educated, prepared mentally to be able to accept those opportunities. Have you ever had an opportunity come by, drop in your lap, and you're like, that's the most amazing opportunity ever? But you said, maybe I'm not ready for that. That opportunity just went by. So a lot of it is just being prepared for opportunity. So Andy's coming in here. Andy said, how do you decide where to start? Where? Like, where would you buy land? What area would you want to buy a piece of land in? You guys chime in. I'm curious to see what you guys would think because, you know, a lot of this is logical. What's crazy is a lot of people know what to do in certain situations in life, but just still won't do it, right? So when Andy's talking about where would you start? Where would you buy land if you're going to build an apartment? You guys, I want you to chime in. Put down there in the comments, type in, think of a theory. Where would you want to buy a piece of raw land that soon to be you would build an apartment building there? Say like we're building right now in Palm Bay, a 32 unit apartment building. Where do you think it would be wise to choose a piece of land that would take probably 2 to 3 years time to take that piece of land and turn it into an apartment building? And then during that 2 to 3 years time, there would be growth and that city would be popular enough to where people would want to go live and occupy that apartment building. What do you think? Where would you want to pick a piece of land What would be the criteria? What would you think in your mind? Drop one thing down there in the chat for me, guys. Where would you want? Andy says, close to good schools or major interstate. Yes. So major interstate or highway road access is a great thing, right? Because people need to be able to get there to and from the apartment building to live there and go to work. So you'd want to choose a piece of land like that was, near a freeway. Yes. Near a freeway. And we like to say, guys, it would be nice to choose a piece of land that would be in the path of progress, right? So Andy says close to schools and that, right? So if you're talking about close to schools, close to hospitals, close to hospitality industry, close to these things, proximity of maybe it's a bigger city that's expanding, and you're just on the barely on the outskirts of a very big city that's expanding, and it's expanding out to that area. We call it the path of progress. So yes, around hospitals, around schools, near a freeway, that's how you might pick land that is also, say, in the path of progress, where the area's growing. Freshwater river close to a Walmart, close to a Home Depot, right? So you guys got it. It's not that hard, right? So you want to identify a piece of land that is what we would like to say in the path of progress. Tourist area is good, right? What do you guys think about Florida? Do you think about Florida as being a good tourist area? What do you think about, like Orlando, Florida, the hospitality industry, Disney World and all the rest? So that's why we chose it out there, guys. So you guys are spot on. Now, then you wouldn't believe once you've located this piece of land that you see that could be on the market for sale, and you're thinking, this thing's right in the path of progress. It's right by a freeway. It's got access to this and that. It's right around the hospitality industry. This is a great location. That's something that you might go ahead and go after now. But you know what, guys? Are we even sure that once you've located that piece of land, are we even sure that with your idea in your head of, wow, this area and this piece of land would be really good, say, to build a 32-unit apartment building on, this would be fantastic. Do we even know yet if that piece of land could get approved to allow you to build a 32-unit apartment building on there? See, we don't even know that yet. We don't even know if the city would let it happen. Wild, right? So then we have to figure out if this piece of land would, if they would let you build a building like that on there. Would they permit it and approve it, or do they not want a 32-unit building on that? Can you not go a certain height, right? There's a certain height maybe in some properties where they're trying to get the city in that area to kind of look the same, and they don't want all of a sudden some 5 or 6 or 8-story building, being erected there. They won't even let you do it. So that's an interesting caveat. So then we have to go and we have to try to really find a piece of land that we think we could get approved for that kind of a project. And it also has to be near the Walmart and the Home Depot, and it, should be near freeway access and. So maybe a tourist area too, like Christian said, right? Near freshwater, near schools, near hospitals. So you guys get it. And if you could get it where it's in the path of progress, you're in good luck, because it's expanding into that area, and they probably are going to, if it's an expanding area, have a need for more affordable multifamily housing. So you guys got it dialed. I like it. Everything's location, location, location. That's for sure. Okay? That's for sure. And so I don't know if you guys know about Palm Bay. One of the watchers, and I forget who, was saying that they were down in Miami. Was it Christian? Yeah, dude. So I don't know if you guys know about Palm Bay, but it's like a little gym. I went there and kind of fell in love with it. It was pretty sweet. It's on the Space Coast, when they call it the Space Coast because they launched the rockets over there. But it's on the east coast of Florida in Brevard County, which is the fastest growing county in Florida. And this little cute city of Palm Bay is like, I don't know, maybe 10-minute drive to the beach out there. Some beautiful beaches too, and bars and restaurants and pubs and things like that. It's a gorgeous little town. And so the 32 unit and the 48 unit, which are about 2 miles down the street from one another that we're building, are about 10 minutes from the beach. So it's like location, 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 right? There's a Home Depot a mile away. You got the Walmart. You got the Space Coast where they shoot off the rockets. You got the hospitality industry. You got it's 45 minutes outside of Orlando. And so we figure, based on location, that we're doing well thus far. So that's why we bought the land for the 32 unit apartment. We bought the land for the 48 unit apartment. And we started going through the permitting and entitlement processes, which, like I said, guys, just to take raw land and get it approved to be able to build what you want to build on it is more than half the battle. It's tough news. So it is all about location. I always think of it this way, guys. Honestly, I always think of it this way. Depending on financial status in life or where I would be in life, I would think, would I live here? That's a good question, isn't it? So sometimes I think, would I live here? If I was living in a two bedroom, two bath apartment, and I wanted to be out there in Florida, is this location and is this apartment we're about to build something that I'd want to live in? And if I could say yes to that, then I think a lot of other people may feel the same, right? It's logical. You're down here, Christian, you're down here delivering roof materials? Is that what you're doing right now? Delivering roofing materials? Well, shoot, dude. Maybe you might deliver something to my job site. So yeah, it's in Palm Bay. And Christian, if any of you guys were in Florida and you wanted the address of the property, you can go take a look at it. So the 32 unit build is about 70% of the way done. So you've got a whole building built with a roof on it and all that stuff, and the interior's framed out and all that stuff, but it's still cinder block on the outside. So there's a lot of finishing work to do to it. But yeah, you can go see the job site. It's a lot more massive than I ever thought it would be. So when you're standing there and you see the scope of it, it's pretty big in my opinion. And it's just a 32 unit apartment building, guys. In the midst of apartment developers out here in this world, it's a very tiny project. It's not a big dog, so. All right. Increase that weight a little bit. So we're just doing a couple shoulder exercises here. But yeah, you guys can go by the property in Florida and check it out. But we should be starting on the 48 unit here in not so long. Maybe I would say in another 6 months, we're going to start to pour foundation on the 48 unit. Oh yeah. All right. Oh my goodness. Feeling good. Woo. All right. So it's Monday, guys. We got to get moving. Let's get it. So obviously, we need to have the skill of raising private capital. Obviously, we have to be able to locate land that is in the path of progress in a growing area, like we said, with access to hospitals, Walmarts, Home Depots, the freeway, and maybe is growing. We call it the path of progress. What's up, Dexter? What's up? You're the stud, Dexter. You're the stud, man. But good morning, Dexter. Welcome to have you here. We're talking about the 32 unit and the 48 unit builds out in Florida called Coconut Palm Apartments. So we are building right now a 32. It's about 70% of the way done. We're ready for the 48. I wouldn't mind living close to Brenton Motorsports Freedom Factory Racing. That's funny. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of that. But that sounds cool. Freedom Factory Racing. What are they racing over there? So did you know we have a referral partner program? Check this out, guys. Did you know, here, let me just tell you something, see if it sounds fun to you guys. I want to see what your opinion is. Did you know that if you were speaking to somebody in your network or friend or family or somebody at a conference or an event or a boss, your boss of your company, or who knows what, guys, but you're talking to somebody and you say, hey, I know this guy Patrick, and him and his fund are building apartments out in Florida and Palm Bay, and they accept investors, and they pay above average returns, and they're going to build these apartments. The 32 is almost done, and it's a great investment opportunity for people that are looking for something like that. Did you know if you told that story and you sent somebody over to me, I take over from there, and that counts as a referral from you, and we pay $200 cash for just the referral, whether they invest or not, and you get $1,000 bonus if we can cultivate them into an investor, which is the main goal. So you'd get $1,200 paycheck for just telling our story and sending somebody over that may want to invest in the apartments. So we created a pretty cool, fun, what I like to call the referral partner network. And we have storytellers that tell people about our fund. And if people are interested in learning more, send them our direction and get paid cashola for telling our story. So could be an opportunity for some of you even. I know Dexter sometimes will send me some great referrals, people he knows and things like that. And right now, without having to remind me, I know that today I'm supposed to reach out to my connections here in San Diego because Dexter has a friend that has a piece of land here in San Diego. And there's a duplex on it as we speak. And they're thinking of tearing down the duplex and trying to build an apartment building with more doors there on that piece of property. So I was telling Dexter, here we go. We got to go through all the BS. At first, we got to see if what is able to be built on that land by way of city approval before we can even talk about it. So we got to get an assessor out there. People look up city records, look at what that property is zoned for now. There's obviously a duplex on it, people living on it now. So could we tear down a duplex there in San Diego property and build, like, say, a 12-unit apartment building or something like that? Is that possible? Well, we got to go find out. Oftentimes, you'll go to, I have a big plan for this property and want to build an apartment building there, and you go and they say, sorry, we don't allow that there. The biggest you can have is a duplex, or the highest you can go is a two-story building, whatever it is. But that's the first step we got to go through. And of course, I'm going to take care of Patrick. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's all about helping each other too, guys. Did you know if you help enough people, you'll get what you want in life? You don't always have to make it about you. Dexter's a friend of mine, so I'm willing to reach out to my resources and see what we can do with this thing just to help Dexter get an idea. If Dexter wants to take care of me or I get involved somehow, fantastic. That's the way the good Lord wishes. But, if you knew somebody that was building a 32-unit apartment building from the ground up, would you have questions about it? Are you curious about stuff, guys? I know I would be. Or maybe the referral partner program. You know that you can refer me somebody from your network, or you meet somebody and you can refer them over and make money just by introducing them to me. I mean, I think this is kind of cool stuff, guys. You know how hard we have to work as a salesperson out there to close a deal and get a sales commission? And oh my God, I was a salesperson for many, many years of my life selling stuff. And it's tough work. So if you could tell a story about an investment fund manager that that's me, and you could send interested investors my direction and make a bunch of extra cash. Pretty slick, right? If you sent me one investor referral, it's $200, whether they invest or not. And then if we cultivate them into being an investor, you get a $1,000 bonus. It's extra $1,200 for opening your mouth and talking about our apartment builds in Florida. So we're recruiting people to that referral partner network across the United States right now. Kind of a cool opportunity. But like Andy was asking, how do you figure this out? How do you get started? I'll tell you this, guys. A lot of times it's the people around you, inviting new people into your circle. If it weren't for the people that I met, I wouldn't be building apartments in Florida. It ain't me on my own, guys. It's good people that I met that I'm working with in Florida. It's the team around you that allows you to do things over and beyond what you could do by yourself. It's all about building a good foundation with great people. That is correct. All about building a good foundation with great people. It's all about the people, guys. If you didn't understand that that's kind of what this world is built about, is us. And we're all very important to one another. We're all human beings. We're all in the same network, and we all are trying to do as best we can for our families. And when good people can come together with a vision and work on this vision together in one direction with momentum, you guys know that 5 people, this is all old psychological statement, but 5 people, 5 smart people, all heading in the same direction with the same motive, create a mastermind. Literally, 5 people can be the smartest individual on the planet. 5 heads put together. Andy says, a year ago, he connected with Desi. That's my partner. And now Andy talks to everybody about our opportunities. Absolutely, Andy. Absolutely, man. Well, we have got good people, right? Like we just heard in the comments. We've got good people. We have a foundation of really, really good people, Andy Woodward here being one of them. But we've built a fantastic team I have around me. So it's definitely not just me, guys. And it shouldn't be just you. You don't have to have that stress or responsibility. It is the team you build around you. My partner, Desi, is a wealth of knowledge, extraordinarily invaluable. And the other folks on our team, and our team in Florida especially, right? My boots on the ground in Florida for these apartment builds, just invaluable. You know, you couldn't do it without these people. So yeah, you got to surround yourself with the right folks. You got to grow your network. But here's the thing. It's funny how your network grows and opportunity falls in your lap when you're in the game, right? Yeah, NJ, have a good day. Good to see you, NJ. Hopefully you're accomplishing all your goals. Have a great day at work. We talked about this with NJ. NJ, within like 2 years from now, could essentially replace her job income with passive income and flip the bird or the middle finger to whoever she has to work for. Anyways, have a good day, NJ. I love having conversations with you. Thanks for showing up. One more set of these shoulders and we're going to move on to something else. But what's interesting is this. We're in this last mile push, right? So let me ask you guys if you believe that this is a good, let me ask you if you believe this is a good investment. Let me see if you guys think this is a good investment opportunity for investors, okay? You guys tell me. If we've got the land purchased, the land permitted and entitled, city official federal approvals, environmental's done, we've poured the foundation, we've built the building, so a 32-unit building is erected, exists, we've put the roof on it, we've got the interior walls and everything all framed out, ready to go, and we call it the last mile now, which is just to finish off the 32-unit building. So we've got the least risky part of the build. It's already almost done. We just have to do the finishing stuff and occupy it. So there's an opportunity where we're raising $3 million in the next 90 days. And on this $3 million raise, categorized as the last mile, we pay 15 to 19% return for the investor. I want you to see if you guys think these numbers are good. So we pay 15 to 19%, depending on how much capital they put in of the 3 million. So it's tough too, by the way. King, it's tough, dude, to work out and talk at the same time. I never realize how difficult it would be. But yeah, I try to get my morning workout in here while we talk physical fitness or financial fitness. And by way of financial fitness, we're just talking about the apartment builds we have going on out in Florida. So we're building some apartments from the ground up, a 32 and a 48. And like I was saying, the 32 is almost done. It's like the last 30% to finish the building and occupy it. And so we call it the last mile, right? It's the very last mile of what we have to do to get the 32-unit apartment complete. Well, investors can come in and invest however much they want out of the $3 million that we're currently raising. So we raise this $3 million, it's called the last mile, and we pay 15 to 19%, and we only utilize the investor capital for 12 to 18 months. And it's secured in first lien position against the property, which is then going to be valued at $9.5 million when it's all said and done and occupied. So you tell me, guys, you think that's a good investment opportunity for an investor that has capital to be able to put money into a deal, only have their money deployed for 12 to 18 months' time in the lowest risk portion of building this apartment, the last mile we call it, and they make 15 to 19% on their money. Only their money is used for 12 to 18 months to complete the building. Secured against the building in first lien position. Building's gonna be worth $9.5 million here when it's done in about 12 months or less, hopefully. And it's gonna be $6.5 million or so all in to build the darn thing. So $6.5 million all in to build it. We only need $3 million to finish it. And it's $9.5 million when it's built. And investors can come in and play at this what we call the last mile. Do you think that's a good investment opportunity? I've seen some smashing of the hearts. 32 units is amazing. Thank you, man. And the next one is 48 units. So, as you guys know, the story is we started buying raw land in Florida about 3 years ago. So we started buying this raw land in Florida about 3 years ago. And getting what's all the permits and entitlements done. And we're finally building the 32. It's like almost done. And we have a 48 unit coming right up. So we're doing this apartment development stuff, guys. That's what we were talking about today. And also the referral partner program. You guys could refer investors my direction, get paid for it just for the referrals. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, the 32 unit is bigger than you think. Like 32 units is not a lot for an apartment building, but when you stand on the job site, Christian down here in the comments lives in Miami. He might go take a look at our job site. When you go there, it is quite expansive. You're thinking, this is a big ass project, man. So yeah, I'm extraordinarily blessed to have gotten the opportunity to work with some of these people and get into apartment development. It's just an amazing thing, guys. So we'll do some of these here. We'll do some of these here chest flies. So we just did some shoulder presses. Yeah, the injection for the last part of it, Reality King. Absolutely, man. The injection for the last part of the build. And it's the least risky position for an investor. It's at the end of the build. It'll be $6.5 million all in from beginning to end. How much it costs to buy the land, entitle the land, and then build the apartment building for a 32 unit. $6.5 million all in, and it'll sell for about $9.5 million. So this should be about a 36-month process for you guys to get an idea of it, right? So from buying the land, permitting and entitlements, design, blueprints, planning, and then build the building, it should take about 36 months or so if done smoothly with no hiccups. So you guys get the idea of the extent of that. So if you figure people were investing with us in this 32 unit build when it was just raw land, that's the most risky time at the very beginning of a project like this. And then once we got through the permitting and the entitlements and the approvals and such, of course, people were investing then. It was less risky than that. And so now we've got a building and it's about 75% of the way complete. And investors can still invest and just help us complete the last mile of the 32 unit building. And it's much more safe, obviously, by way of timing. And they can make a really great return because why do you think we would be willing, what's your guess, guys? Why do you think we'd be willing to pay a little bit more as far as the investor returns are concerned? Why would we be willing to pay a little bit more rate of return for this last bit of capital to finish the buildings? Because normally we pay 8 to 10% to our investors. We pay them 8 to 10% on their money, and they invest in our apartment builds and so on. Right now, we're going to pay 15 to 19% on this last $3 million for people that participate in what we call the last mile. So why would you? Why would somebody want to invest, or why would we pay somebody 15 to 19% rather? Any idea why we'd pay more? Why would we pay a little bit more investor return is the question. Why would we pay a little bit more investor return for the last $3 million to finish the building off? If we normally pay 8 to 10% returns to the investors, why now in what we call the last mile, which is just finishing the building off to get it occupied and sold? Okay, why would we pay more to our investors? Why would the last mile investors get a little bit more return on their investment? Any guess? Well, because, guys, the faster you complete the building and occupy it, the faster you can exit. The faster you can exit, the faster everybody makes money. So we need to get the building built, and we need to get that thing occupied, what they call stabilized, and then we need to get it sold. And in that case, guys, now we have a track record of going start to finish, completing a build. That helps us with other investors and other lenders and moving forward. And we're going to be pouring the foundation on the 48 right away and moving forward on the 48 unit. So guys, it is very important to get your first build under your belt, get it completed as quick as possible, meet timelines, get it occupied, get it sold. Everybody makes money. We do, our investors do, and we have momentum moving into the next build. That's kind of why, right? And the longer it takes to finish, the longer all that takes. So we want to complete that as quickly as possible, and that's why we'd incentivize investors with a bit of a higher return just to do the last mile, or what we call the last bit of building the 32 unit. Josh, what's your favorite barbell? I have an Olympic bar back here, but I have a York Olympic bar, I guess. And I got this thing, which is kind of cool. If you guys ever seen something like this. This is a pretty cool bar, guys, with these hands that twist like this. It's a curl bar or tricep bar. But this is kind of a neat bar when you're doing some curls like that, where it's a lot easier on your wrists than it is holding onto a flat bar or like an Olympic bar, because sometimes that can be a pain in the butt on your wrists. So that's kind of a cool bar to do some curls with. But if you're new to the channel, Josh, everybody knows, a lot of people know, this is called the Dungeon. This is my little garage gym. What's up, Brad? And I'm literally in my normal 2-car garage here. And I just stuck this little gym setup in one little area of my garage where I put the Makolo system up. It's only this big, right? Very small. This Makolo system, got your pull-up bar, got your pulleys, got everything you need. You can put squat rack and bench rack and all this stuff on here. So this is a little guy, and it takes up such a small area of my garage. And we call it the Dungeon. It's my garage gym. So good morning, HB. What's up, man? HBJ's back. Let's go. HBJ's back. HBJ, we're talking about the apartment builds in Florida right now. Building the 32 and the 48, answering people's questions about what an adventure it is to be building apartments from the ground up. So if you guys have questions about like the process and how you would get into building apartments, raising other people's capital and stuff like that to scale your business, it's what I do, guys. So that's why I come live to answer you guys' questions and try to help. And also, if I can motivate you guys to work out, I'm trying to get people in their best physical shape and financial shape. So if I motivate you to work out and you need like an accountability partner, somebody to work out with, well, I'm going to be here every morning, 6:30 to 8. I promise, unless I get sick or my health fails or something like that. But every morning, 6:30 to 8 a.m. Pacific time, I'm here. If you want an accountability partner to get fit with, let's go. That's one thing. But another thing is we talk about financial fitness, guys, passive cash flow, how to get wealthy as a real estate related investor, because this is the stuff I do. So Josh, what's up, dude? You have a similar rack? Yeah, it ends up being a little bit longer. Yeah, I got the smallest one I could find, to be honest with you. And you are a sucker for garage gyms. Hey, dude, it's all good, brother. I love garage gyms. I'm just one that doesn't like to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? My wife, on the other hand, she likes the gym. She finds some sort of comfort or solace by being in the gym. Me, not so much. I grew up in the gym. My father was a weight training instructor, so it's like when I was young, I couldn't help but be in the gym. So I had a different upbringing than a lot of people. So I don't like going to the gym. I'd rather just be here in my own garage gym and that. And you guys know what happened is I was down here working out every morning because I decided to change my health for the better a long time ago. I had a huge beer belly. I still don't have the great six-pack that I want. I got to get rid of some of this still. But if you'd have saw me 2 years ago, I was disgusting. Bad habits, beer bellies, bad sleep, the whole 9 yards, man. So, no, it's warm in here, guys. It's warm in here. Don't worry about my nipples. Don't worry about my little nipples. It's nice and warm inside the garage. It's been like in the 80s in San Diego lately. So it's still early out here in San Diego, but it is, excuse me. It is hot and my garage gets hot. But so, you couldn't see any abs of mine about 2 years ago. Zero. My belly was out to about here. I had like 4 more inches on it. Big old belly. Muscles were gone. I had no veins, no muscles. It was toast, man. I was starting to look like a real old man. And I decided to change it up. So a little over a year and a half ago, I built this little garage gym and I started working out down here by myself in the mornings. And my thing is I'm always trying to get more intelligent. So when I was down here working out, I was listening to other people's information. So for a year and a half, guys, I was down here studying cryptocurrencies. I was down here studying, world economics, fiat currency, destruction of the United States dollar, what's going on with President Trump. I was just studying all this stuff, soaking up other people's content for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, a year and a half. And I just decided all of a sudden, I was talking to my wife and I said, man, we have a lot of value we can offer people like you guys. And if I could be someone else's motivation to change physically and to get rid of the bad habits, that makes me feel really good. So if I can motivate people to get in their best physical shape ever, I'm 46 years old, guys. I'm 46, And I'm trying to look like I'm 26, even though that ain't possible. But if I can motivate people to get in their best physical shape ever, that's great. But honestly, too, I said, why don't I come here and instead of watching other people's content in the mornings while I work out, why don't I get my own content out to you guys? Why don't I be helpful? So I decided instead of watch someone else's content, I'd throw my phone on like this and I would just talk to you guys, right? So it's raw, it's uncensored, it's uncut. We don't have a script. I've been professionally investing full time since about late 2018-ish. Started in mortgage notes, so we buy mortgage notes for cash flow. Now we're building these apartments in Florida. And so I just thought it's a neat thing to talk about because I don't know, I didn't know a lot of people in my life that were building apartment buildings and raising capital and doing all this stuff, so it's kind of fun. Yeah, you were happy to Josh was happy to drop a few $1,000 for all of his home gym stuff. Yeah, for sure, guys. Do you know how many people have spent over thousands of dollars continuously paying for a gym membership that they just don't go to? But also mentally, they don't want to cancel it because if they cancel their gym membership, they feel like they're giving up on their possible fitness goals. So people just pay for that gym membership for a long time and don't go. That's thousands wasted. So yeah, I'd rather spend thousands to own my own stuff and be able to shoot down when you want to, guys. As we get older, guys, and we get busy, you know, sometimes too, it's hard to find the time to go to the gym. So if you can just hop out at your own house and get it done, that's good stuff, right? So let's add some weight to these things here. Do another set of cable flies, but what's your most curious thing that runs through your mind when you look at some normal nitwit like me, no different than you? Shoot, I'm even goofier than you, right? I take my shirt off and work out in front of people on the camera. It's ridiculous, right? So obviously, I'm no better than you. So what goes through your mind? I'm curious, right? What goes through your mind when you're thinking, this guy is building apartments in Florida and doing all this? What the hell? What goes through your mind? Like, you know, we can all do this kind of stuff. I don't know what y'all are doing, but maybe y'all are doing bigger things than me. But it is a fun story anyways, and there's got to be something curious that goes through your mind when you're thinking, how in the hell did this guy get to building apartments in Florida and working with investors and all that good stuff? There is a story behind it. Sure, certainly is there. And Josh, thank you for saying that I look great, man. That's really nice of you. Appreciate you, dude. I could have been in 300 with my current physique. I don't go that far, dude. I still have a lot to work on, guys. But I will tell you this. The thing about it is, guys, see, I'm not competing with fitness influencers. I'm not competing with bodybuilders. I'm a 46-year-old dude that was in horrible shape 2 years ago. Decided to switch that up, try to get in better shape. And so we can't have compare-itis. We can't, I appreciate you, bro, but we can't have compare-itis, right? I still have so much work to do. I don't feel like I look great yet. You know, I'm not there yet. That's just my personal thing. Somebody else's opinion may be I look great. Other people's opinion are saying, man, you're not buff. And it's all true. I'm just trying to be the best I can for myself, if you guys understand that. So I'm not competing with other guys that have more years in the game. I mean, literally 2 years ago, guys, I was failed. I had a giant beer belly and looked like I had zero muscle. I looked really terrible. One of these days, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to try to bring it up on here. I have this flat screen TV right here, and I just put my video on there so I can see your guys' comments from different angles around the garage. But I'm going to put on there tomorrow, I'm going to put my before and after picture. I'm going to put what I looked like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and you'll see. That's why I'm trying to motivate people to get in their best physical shape ever, because I know it's possible, dude. I know I'm personal living proof of you can completely change your physique in a pretty short amount of time, about a year. Like 6 months to a year, depending on where you're at, 6 months to a year, you can completely change your physique, whether you're male or female, whether you're 25 or like me, 46 years old I am now. And I don't really do anything, guys. I'm not on TRT, steroids, Trin, and all this other shit you hear about on the internet. I don't do any of that stuff, guys. Don't need to ruin your body to make it better, let me tell you. But I appreciate you, Josh. That's super nice of you, man. It's hard work and it's a pain in the ass to stay consistent, but with a little hard work and a little consistency, we can all change. And you know, the thing about that, guys, here's the crazy thing. We can change our physical fitness and our physical appearance quickly. Also, did you know that you can change your financial status, okay, and the level of wealth you have quickly? That's why I talk about physical and financial fitness kind of together. I put them together because they're very similar. Everybody wants to, listen, most everybody wants to be fit, but most everybody's not. Most everybody wants to be rich, but most everybody's not. What does that tell you guys about it? It tells you that if both can be achieved through concentration and consistency, it means that people don't have enough attention to concentrate on what they really want these days, and people certainly don't put it to practice with consistency. That's pretty true, isn't it? Yes, Josh. Josh says, and once you change your physique, quality of life snowballs in a positive way, especially as a man. You know, God, there's some truth to that. There is some truth to that. We were saying how, it definitely earns you respect. And, it's just because I think that subliminally, oh, that one hurt my shoulder. Oh, that's what it is to be old. I think subliminally, people understand that someone with a really good physique has had some sort of long-term discipline. It's apparent. And since most other people don't have any sort of long-term disciplines, it does automatically give people respect. When you see a woman walk by or a man walk by and either is in extraordinarily good physical shape, obviously it does demand respect. It's pretty cool. Oh, I see, Christian. Yeah, you live in Kentucky, but you're delivering materials down in Miami. I got you. Delivering some materials down in Miami. Well, there's building going on, isn't there? But you want to get it done. Yeah. So guys, if I could motivate you, I got this bad shoulder of mine I have to be careful with on this right side. Left one, still good. There you go. All right. So we add a little bit more weight and we're just doing some of these cable press downs. Talking about the 32 unit and the 48 apartment build, 32 unit and 48 unit apartment builds in Florida. Christian, while you're in Florida, I'll have to pop you the address of the 32 unit that we're building so you can go run by and see the job site if you want, if you have time while you're out there. So just hit me up after this and I'll shoot you the address of the 32 unit. And I believe, guys, just for argument's sake, it's 361 Mercury Avenue. 361 Mercury Avenue in Palm Bay is where the 32 unit's located. Finish the project. Yep, that's what we're doing, Poncho. We're about to finish the project. We call it the last mile. In apartment development, the last mile is when you're just doing the finish work, when all the bulk has been done to the building. And that's called the last mile, where we finish it up. Let me ask you guys this. If you were going to start your week off working out with some momentum, and you were going to make sure that your butt got out of bed on a Monday after a weekend, and you know you got to get it done, you know you got to get out of that warm bed on a Monday morning, you got to get your workout done, what exercise is your favorite? I'm curious. Everybody's different. What exercise is your favorite? Of course, most men like me like to do chest and shoulders and biceps and triceps and all that stuff, right? So that's why I always start my Mondays out with chest and shoulders and that kind of thing, because I like to choose my most enjoyable workout to start on Monday. I don't like leg day that much. A lot of people don't like leg day that much. I have a pretty bad knee. My right knee has 3 surgeries on it and stuff. So leg day hurts more than it helps with me usually. So I always save leg day for like midweek and try to do leg day on like Wednesday or something. What exercises is your favorite when you're working out? And what would you pick to do on a Monday that would actually motivate you to get out of bed? It's a good question, right? It's a good question. So, have you guys ever wanted to figure out how to raise money from other people to do something bigger than you can do with your own pocketbook? It's a good question. You know other people do it. You know other people raise money and do things. Have you ever wanted to do that? Have you ever wanted to do a syndication? Have you heard of that, right? You guys know the difference, okay? A syndication, so that you guys understand. I know I didn't understand it, years ago. A syndication, guys, if you know about this, is when an operator is going to raise private capital from other individuals, and they raise enough money to go and purchase an existing apartment building. And an existing apartment building that may be even dilapidated, mismanaged, has issues. And they're going out and they're going to use private capital that they raise from other individuals, and they go out and take other people's money, and then they go and buy an older, dilapidated apartment building. The reason I say older and dilapidated is because with a syndication, you're doing it for value add. So value add is, can I go buy an older apartment building where it's not drawing a lot for rent, right? Maybe the parking lot's all cracked up, the sign done fell down, the paint's faded, it's got trim work that needs, repairs, stuff like that. So it's kind of in maybe mid to poor shape. And the reason it's not drawing a lot for rent, or people won't pay a lot for rent there, is because look at the quality of the place, right? You can't demand a lot of rent for a place that's dilapidated. So in syndication, people raise money and then they go out to buy an older, dilapidated apartment building that has value add capability. Meaning, what could we do to fix it up and make it nicer so that we can charge more for rents? So if you didn't know this, an apartment building is valued different than, a single family home. An apartment building draws its value, how much the building or the property is worth, based on how much rent it brings in every month. So the more that the rents go up in an apartment building, the more the total value of the whole building goes up, okay? So the syndicators are trying to go and use OPM to go and buy a dilapidated apartment building, fix it up, make it nicer so they can demand more money for rents. When they demand more money for rents, the value of the building goes up, and then they can refi their investors out and things like that because the building is worth a lot more than it was. Now we're doing it differently, right? We're not going to buy an old dilapidated building that we have to try to fix up and then increase rents. We're building the damn thing from the ground up. And did you know something? You can build an apartment building cheaper than what you can buy one for, generally. So we decided to buy the land, entitle and permit the land, and build these suckers, instead of go buy some old dilapidated building that we have to try to value add. So interesting, right? It's just a different perspective. Just a different perspective. Don't buy an old dilapidated apartment building and fix it up. Just build one that's brand new and badass. That's our plan. And we're going to build up to 1,000 units between now and 2030 out here in this area in Brevard County that's under amazing growth. Oh, you guys are so quiet this morning. It's so respectful. You're letting me get my workout in. Lately, I've been talking to you guys more than working out, and I've been regretting that. So good to actually be getting a good workout in today. But we're talking about the 32 unit apartment build in Florida and the 48 unit that we're about to build. So, we're talking about apartment development from the ground up. I think it's a fun subject. You got to figure, back when I was bouncing from apartment to apartment in my younger days, moved out of my family's house. It's our first time, maybe high school, maybe college age for some of us. And we moved out of the family house, got our own place. And call it like apartment hopping, lived in several little apartments, junky places to live, in my younger days here in San Diego. And, you always got to consider somebody, some company, some entity at some point bought that land, got it permitted and entitled, and built that apartment building there. And I know a lot of us have lived in apartment buildings before, so I know I have. So back in my apartment living days, you don't think that way, but where you're living in an apartment building, somebody, some entity bought that land and built that damn thing at some point brand new. And they probably made a killing on it, generally. And here we are living there, raising our kids there, building memories there. And so apartments are very necessary, especially today, guys. Here's a question for you. Do you think that low-income housing is going to become more and more popular here in the next, say, 3 to 5 years? So in the next 3 to 5 years, do you think low-income housing is to become more popular or less popular? I love it. Oh, that's so classic. Tony said, please address the allegations that I was exposed for using steroids and also selling them at the gym. That's kind of funny. First of all, that's wrong because I don't go to the gym. I always work out here in my garage gym. I also don't do any steroids. But that's so funny, man. That one got me. Let's see. Tony, no. So I said, the question is, do you feel like low-income housing is going to be more popular in the next 3 to 5 years or less? Put more or less in the chat. Do you think low-income housing in the next 3 to 5 years will become more necessary or less? Put more or less in the chat. I'm curious to see what you think. Low-income or affordable housing in bulk. Do you think that's going to become more necessary or less? Yep. HBJ said more. Poncho, more. Yeah, this is correct, guys. This is correct. So if you think about that and you think good location, right? Yes, more. Absolutely. We'll let's see. I'll just say Oledo for lack of being able to read that right from here. But yeah, Oledo, more. So you guys are darn right. You guys are darn right. We have inflation. Inflation's getting worse. Of course, they're about to turn on the United States printing machine, full bore, these next 3 years. You know, the Rothschilds, they needed Iran for a while now. You know that the Rothschilds did not have a centralized world bank in Iran. You guys know that? Now they might. So, guys, inflation's going to get worse, okay? Inflation's going to get worse. Our average pay, yearly income, and salaries are not increasing at the level in which products and services are. So when you have that dynamic happening, which is products and services in the marketplace are inflating more drastically than the raise in our pay, then you understand there's a separation that's happening, continues to get further and further. It's called inflation. It means shit's getting more expensive, man. But yet our bosses aren't giving us an 8 or 10% raise every year. That'd be nice, right? But just to keep up with inflation at this point, guys, and don't believe the news channels while they're trying to tell us, oh, inflation's under control. It's only like 2%, guys. Bullshit. Go check the price of some stuff, man. I was looking at this, we were buying some meat the other day. Normally about $45, $50 for this meat we buy. Now $78. So you guys are right. Affordable housing in bulk is going to become more necessary in the next 3 to 5 years. So if you can go out there, like I said, and you could pick a nice piece of land in the path of progress, a growing city where they're going to have more need for more multifamily housing, and they're going to have a need for nice, quality, affordable apartment buildings. And if you got an area like that and you're picking a path of progress where things are growing, it's a good idea to build there because, guys, there's going to be people living in that apartment, and they work for the hospitality industry, and they work for the hospital, they work at, all these great places in and around the Orlando area in Florida. What a thriving place, right? Florida's been one of the fastest growing states, since COVID. So let's not get it twisted, right, guys? I'm not trying to build single family houses down in Miami. We know why, right? The folks that did, there's a lot of areas that went under major migration. And they went under such major migration, like Dallas, Texas, and Miami and these places, such major migration that it made the real estate values go boom and bubble up. And now that all that hysteria is over, a lot of those places are falling back down to normal. So there's some problems with the housing prices in some of these big cities. But we're talking about building nice quality, affordable multifamily apartment buildings. It's a different game, right? Florida Project, HBJ, what's the minimum? What's the minimum investment? And what's the APR? Also, is this for both 506B and 506C investors? Yeah, so we are a 506C, but we have a crowdfunding certification. So we can raise $5 million per year of non-accredited money through our crowdfunding portal. And the minimum investment's only $25,000 to invest with us, HBJ. And right now for the last month, normally our fund pays 8 to 10% returns yearly, long-term, and we pay out quarterly cash flow. So we got 8 to 10% returns quarterly. 8 to 10% return yearly, okay? And we pay cash flow and we pay dispersions quarterly. But now, in this 32-unit building out in Palm Bay, we're at what they call the last mile. And the last mile is just finishing up the finishing touches to get the building finished and occupied. And so for the last mile, we're raising $3 million in the next 90 days. We're going to raise $3 million. And we're going to pay 15 to 19%. So if anybody comes in just for the minimum, which is 25K, you're going to get 15%. If anybody comes in for more than 500K, they get the 19%. But it's only the use of capital is 12 to 18 months. So this is called the last mile, right? It's just to finish off the 32 unit, get it occupied and sold, which is where everybody now that's been involved in the project from the beginning, it's where everybody finally gets rewarded, guys. Where all my investors that have been with us from the beginning in the long run, and even these people that are going to make a great return here in the next year to year and a half on finishing the 32 unit building, they're going to make a great return and allow us to finish the building as quickly and as efficiently as possible, get it occupied, and sell it. So the 32 unit building will be $6.5 million all in. Land, permitting. So, whew, that feels good, guys. Oh my gosh. So the 32 unit building will be finished and people living in there within the next 12 to 18 months. It's a really good opportunity. And then, but guess what? For long term, we're going to start on the 48. The 48 is going to be starting here really soon. So we got 32, a 48, 32 unit, a 48 unit, and two 16 units. All separate properties. There's 4 properties, 32 unit, 48 unit, and 2 separate 16 units. That's what we have in the hopper to build right now. Oh, how soon can one normally get their principal back? Good question, HBJ. So for the long run, not just this last mile, but people that want to invest with us long term, our fund is called an evergreen fund. So it means there is no end to it until we decide to end it. So evergreen means it can go for the next 20 or 30 years if we want to run the fund that long. And so the investors that put money into our fund have a 3-year lockup. So that just means when you put money into our fund, you're allowing and agreeing us to be able to use your capital for at least 3 years minimum. At the end of the 3rd year, people can decide if they want to pull their money out, and they have the ability to do so if they wish. But in the case of people wanting to go on the ride with us, right, we're going to be building 1,000 units little by little by little. We're going to build 1,000 apartment units out there in Florida between now and 2030. So it could be an ongoing thing for some investors that want to let the capital roll because we pay out quarterly dispersions. So if investors invest with us, they make a certain amount of return per year. Well, the return they're making on their money gets dispersed to them, divvied out to them every quarter. So it's good for people that want, some extra quarterly cash flow in their lives. But we allow compounding in our fund. Excuse me. So if people want to invest long term, they can put their money in, and if they don't need to, they can choose not to get their quarterly dispersions. If they don't get their quarterly dispersions, that means that the quarterly dispersions that they would normally have dispersed to them stay in the fund and start adding up to their invested balance, which means they get compounding. So anyways, yeah, HBJ, I hope that answers your question. Generally, it's a 3-year lockup, and after that, it's your choice when you want to pull your money out, but we got your money for at least 3 years. And in this last mile that's going on right now, just to complete the 32 unit building, that's going to be use of capital is only 12 to 18 months. So right now for the last mile on the 32 unit, to just finish the 32 unit building, get it occupied and sold, we're going to pay a little bit higher returns on this money because it's really important money. Once we finish the 32 unit, get it occupied and sold, we have track record. The 48 is going to be beginning, and it allows us to gain reputation for other investors and also institutional players. But we can raise $5 million per year of non-accredited money because we've been crowdfunding approved. Back when I started in all this game 25 years ago, they didn't have crowdfunding. It wasn't a thing. Now they have crowdfunding, and you can get an investment fund CF certified. CF certified means crowdfunding certified, and investors can go through a certified crowdfunding portal to be able to invest if they can't quite meet the accredited qualifications. So anyways, good stuff. I think what I'm going to do is get the door opened up here. Let me put this guy on so you can still see me when I'm walking around, but it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Hello. It's hot. Some wind in here. Yeah, it's getting warm in the garage. All right, guys. So yeah, guys, so we got a 32 unit, then we got a 48 unit, then we got two 16 units. The two 16 units being built simultaneously really equals 32, right? So we got a 32, a 48, and then 32 more units that we're ready to build like now. And the 32 units almost done, and we're about to start on the 48. So interestingly enough, people can invest money with us, sure. But did you know that you can also refer money to us? So we have a referral partner program where y'all can make extra capital just by referring people over to us if people would be interested in investing with us. So we have our referral partner program where we pay people to refer us investor leads, whether they invest money or not. You get paid anyways, just for sending them over. So you guys need extra cash, right? We pay $200 per investor referral. Want to make an extra $1,000 this month? Just send me 5 people or whatever, right? We're having a bit of a heat wave here in San Diego recently, man, and it's early in the morning here. What is it, 7:45 in the morning, but it's already hotter than hell. I gotta open up all my doors in my garage, Jim, because it gets like a little sauna in here. Oh, that's better. And you know darn well, guys, that I got rid of the heater. We used to have a space heater in here. Oh, and we've recently replaced the space heater with a fan. So it goes to show you how the weather's changing out here in San Diego. But yeah, you know, guys, it's a great conversation. I think it's a fun project. Being involved in building apartments from the ground up is a pretty unique opportunity. If you would have asked a guy like me 4 or 5 years ago if I'd see myself building apartments today from the ground up, I would have told you no. So it goes to show you about moving forward down the right paths and surrounding yourself with other people and getting, opportunity sent your direction. Being prepared, educated, and comfortable enough to accept these kinds of opportunities. Because if you got me 5 years ago, guys, and somebody said, hey, you want to build some apartments in Florida? And it was 5 years ago me, I would have said no. I would have not been able to accept the opportunity because I wasn't ready. Sometimes we're just not ready to accept opportunity, right? So we have to prepare ourselves to be accepting of opportunity and not think, because at first, guys, the same animosities happen with everybody. So if we had never built apartments before, it was our first go round, right? Our first run at it. Had never built apartments before. And somebody says, you want to build some apartments? Generally, you say, oh my God, maybe I'm getting in over my head. Maybe it's a scary endeavor. It's outside our comfort zone. We've never done it before. It's the fear of the unknown. All this stuff, right? We all feel the same stuff. My partner and I were feeling the same way. Sometimes you got to take a leap of faith, guys. And when an opportunity hits you right in the face, sometimes you got to grab it before it escapes, okay? So we started building apartments in Florida, and it's going very well. Thank God, right? Thank God. But how would you know if something's going to fail or if something's going to succeed if you're too scared to try? Okay? Like I said, every apartment building we've ever lived in, every place where it was an apartment, and you guys were paying rent to live there, there was some company, some person, some individual, some team, some investment fund that at some point bought that raw land out in the middle of where that was and built that damn apartment building, and you lived there. So, since other people have done it, there's been many a people that have built apartments from the ground up because we've lived in them, right? So why not you? How come you can't build an apartment where people can live in there? Don't let our mentalities stop us from believing everything's possible. It's a beautiful thing. All right, what do we do next? I think we just throw down some heavier dumbbell presses and then some triceps. And then we end this thing. And you're welcome, HBJ10. If you're new here, we talk about physical and financial fitness. So it's okay for you to chime in the chat. This is supposed to be live Q&A. I don't have a PowerPoint, obviously, PowerPoint presentation, anything of that sort. So I hate to just be the talking head here. I love when you guys participate and ask questions about things. It helps keep me going while I'm trying to get this workout knocked out. And we're going to finish it off with some standard dumbbells, standard dumbbell benches here we're going to finish it off with, and we're going to go a little bit heavier. So certainly I should be getting my buns out of breath here, but the referral partner program is pretty cool too. We figured that we could give people, here, let me take this off of here. We can give people an opportunity. We talked about opportunity, right? What if you had the opportunity to work with a $250 million fund? That kind of be cool. What if you had the ability to learn about raising capital, learn how to talk to investors? Oops. And so what if you learned how to raise capital? You learned how apartment development works. You learned how fund management works. And you learned all this for free. And at the same time, you're able to make money doing it. That's why we created this referral partner network. Referral partners around the country can refer investors to us and get paid for it. Isn't that pretty cool? Pretty cool stuff. Imagine getting paid $200 cash for sending somebody my direction, even if they invest or not, just because you sent them my way. That's called being paid for a referral. Pretty cool, right? So we're going to finish up with some dumbbell presses. We're going to do some dumbbell presses. We're going to increase the weight. We've already done shoulder presses. We've already done 2 different kinds of cable chest flies, one from high to low, one from low to high. So we've pretty much worked out the full chest at this point and some shoulders. And now what I like to do is really end it with some heavy dumbbell chest presses. So we'll do that with the power block weights here, and we're going to go, we'll do 35, 40, and 45. That'll be the weight of the dumbbells here. We'll start and we'll do a set with 35, switch it to 40, and then to 45 pounds. We'll just do some chest press dumbbells to get our chest final pump here. And we're going to do some triceps, and we're going to start to build the back of the arm, which is very important if you want to look good in a t-shirt. A lot of people concentrate on biceps and forget that the tricep is a very large muscle group, and that would help build mass in your arms, make your arms look a little bit better. So finish off with chest benches, dumbbells, and then a little bit of triceps, okay? So that's where we're headed. And we were talking about the apartment builds in Palm Bay, Florida, not Palm Beach, Palm Bay, Florida, which is on the Space Coast. We're building a 32 unit and a 48 unit kind of as we speak. And of course, we were talking a little bit about the referral partner program, where anybody, like maybe you, can make some extra cashola on the side by talking about what I do and sending investors my direction. So it's kind of a cool opportunity all the way around. One of the best things you guys can concentrate on in life is trying to make things a win-win situation for all parties involved. If you operate that way in life, guys, and it's not always about you, you're going to do a lot better in life. So always think of, when you're doing some sort of an endeavor that involves other people, how you can make certain that this endeavor creates a win-win situation. Yes, of course, we want to win, but how can we help other people win around us? It's a much better way of thinking. You'll get a lot more out of your life from that. But yeah, I think 361, and if I'm not right, guys, but I think it's 361 Mercury Avenue. So 361 Mercury Avenue in Palm Bay, Florida. Look that up. That's where we're building the 32 unit, and you can check out that location. It is a prime location. Like I said, when I went out to Palm Bay, I fell in love. Beautiful little beach city. Had some, I used to drink a lot of alcohol back then, so we went and had a bunch of beers and visited a couple little pubs and like these little beautiful little restaurants that are right there on those beautiful beaches out there. And the sand is gorgeous, the water's gorgeous. I mean, I kind of fell in love with that place. So Palm Bay, when you talk about location, we feel like we've done a really good job in finding those pieces of land out there in this growing city in Brevard County. Beautiful, about 10 minutes from the beach, 45 minutes outside of Orlando. And, it's an amazing project to be involved in. And like I said, guys, for hope, if you talked to me 5 years ago and you told me I'd be building apartments in Florida today, I would have called you nuts. I would have asked what kind of good drugs you were on, right? So it's not the case that we always can predict where the future will take us. But I will tell you one thing, guys. It's very difficult to catch a pass. Here, let me see if I can do this. It's very difficult to catch a pass for a touchdown if you're not even in the game. Isn't that the truth? So in order to be available to catch some touchdown passes, you have to be in the game. That's the truth. Okay, guys? Let's see if I can do this. You can still see my screen. Yeah, you're welcome, HBJ. Let's see. And you got your question on the principal coming back to you. So The unique opportunity, honestly, is the unique opportunity is this last mile, because we pay a little bit of extra return on the money. It's a shorter use of capital, and it's a higher rate of return. The reason is, guys, because the last bit here of getting the apartment building completely finished and then occupied is the most important time during the project. A lot of things are sluggish until the end here. Now it's a mad dash to get all the rest of the materials in, get the crew scheduled, and get this darn apartment finished. It's the most important part of the project, the least risky, the most amount of return paid to an investor, shortest use of capital, and the quickest march to getting a return on the money. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff, guys. Feeling a little pump. Chest is nice and filled with blood. Feels good. And that's when you know, guys, that you're doing enough damage to your muscle group to get some growth. When you start to feel that pump, they call it. And it's honestly, when you're working out, you're tearing and damaging your muscle tissues, which creates scarring, which grows the muscle. And so if you're not feeling that burn, if you're not feeling the muscles get pumped up with blood, you're not working out hard enough or long enough. So sometimes it's the muscle fatigue that does it. It's not how much money. It's not how much weight you lift generally, right? With my shoulder injury, my knee injuries, being 46, I don't ego lift anymore. So I'm not trying to max out and see how much weight I can do so I can tear something. But it's about going to fatigue and getting those muscles to really get pumped and feel fatigued and then start to fill with blood. That's what the pump is. Start to get tight and thick, your muscles that you're working on. And that's when you know you're doing enough damage to get some growth. So, oh, look. Hi.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See ya. Have a good day. Have fun. See ya. Got to see the little one off to school, ain't that right? Yeah, Dexter, it looks like it's hot already inland. You're down by the beach. It's still cool down there, yeah. It is hot. It is hot. You told Sid to pull up? I haven't seen Sid in a while. Tell Sid I said hello. Tell Sid I said hello. It's been a while. I need to see that guy. Sid is always a pleasure to be around. If you've ever just met somebody that's so funny and lights up the room automatically, that's our buddy Sid. He's classic. Have you guys ever, obviously everybody's familiar with Arnold Schwarzenegger, right, in the movies? Everybody's familiar with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But you know the whole I'll be back kind of a thing? That heavy Arnold Schwarzenegger accent? That's exactly how our boy Sid talks, and it's a fantastic time to be around him. Not only is his personality amazing, but it's fun just to listen to the guy talk. It's amazing. But what a good guy Sid is. I'm glad you told Sid to pull up, man. I need to see Sid. What a good dude. Good to have good friends around you. But like I said, we're just going to finish off here and do some heavier sets of the dumbbell chest presses. He's cut like him too. Yeah. Well, you know, the last time Sid saw me, that's going to be an interesting thing. Dexter, the last time Sid and I saw each other, I was in really bad shape. The last time Sid and I saw each other, I was really in bad shape. My beer belly was out of control. I was bloated. I really looked unhealthy, and my muscles were nothing. Now, I may be comparable to Sid now. I told him he needs to come over to the dungeon here and get a workout in with me one of these days. But he'll be like, Patrick, you're going to do another rep. You're going to do another rep of the wit. I can't even talk like he does, but it's amazing. That was a terrible rendition of Sid's accent. But, oh, man, you know, us Americans with our boring-ass dull language, we just love people with wonderful accents, don't we? I sure do. How funny. So, little one's off to school, guys, which means I have about 5 or 10 more minutes here. I know it's 8 o'clock, but what's your deepest regret? I know, interesting flip on this, but I was just thinking.
What's your deepest regret thus far in life when it comes to your finances? I'm just curious. What's your deepest regret thus far in your life when it comes to your finances? What are you most disappointed about when it comes to where you're at financially? I'm very curious to find out. What are you most disappointed about, guys? We're all disappointed about something. I mean, if we're completely content and happy, then that's fantastic. Maybe you say, nothing, man, I'm super happy. What's your biggest regret about your finances thus far in life? Just curious. Dexter said, not getting started and educating myself how money actually works. Got it. I didn't invest in Bitcoin 10 years ago. Yep. True X Edits said, tell us about your diet, please. I will, buddy. I will. Not investing at a younger age and compounding interest. Poncho. Straight up, right? Straight up. So Dexter says, not getting started earlier, educating himself about the way money actually works. Huge, right? And there's a reason why they don't teach us how money actually works in schools, guys, not in high schools and mostly not in colleges either. They don't teach us how money really works. So that's beautiful, Dexter, yes? Not getting started at education. So what does that tell you about wherever we're all at right now? We're at where we're at, right? We're starting at where we're at now. And we have what we have. We all have different resources. We all have different abilities. We're all of different ages. And we are where we're at now, okay? And some of us may say, like Dexter, I have a regret that I didn't earlier on get myself more education about how money works. Well, it's time to play catch up then, right? If I'm in Dexter's position, I'm saying, I'm only going to study all day long. Dexter's driving trucks now, right? Dexter, you have all the time in the world now to be soaking up as much knowledge as possible, man. So I'd start studying the economy, studying cryptocurrencies, studying cash flow more, all this good stuff, and just really up your education. So education is the key, okay? And yeah, Mr. Info, it's like, dude, I saw Bitcoin when it was $600 per coin is when I finally started to get educated about Bitcoin. It was $600 per coin. But guess what? Back then, I was in a financial position, like some of us may be, that it was extraordinarily impossible or difficult at that time for me to come up with an extra expendable $600. I was pretty much living paycheck to paycheck. But I saw Bitcoin and I started to hear about what Bitcoin was and educate myself on it when it was $600 per coin. And can't we all agree, boy, that was a mess up. What a dumb choice it was not to try to figure out a way to buy one for $600. Right? I could have borrowed the money. It was done. But I wasn't in a good financial position at that time, and nor was I in a good headspace when it came to money. So because of that, you missed the boat, right? Now, I do believe there's some other cryptocurrencies that can allow you to hit it if you did miss the Bitcoin, okay? And now for diet, Truex Edits, for diet, I stick to a very high protein diet. I have, my only supplements are AG1, creatine, and protein powder. So AG1 is, of course, all my vitamins and minerals for the day that I can drink down in one gulp. I mix my creatine in there. Creatine's really good for you in many different ways, mentally and physically. So I drink AG1, and it's usually after my workout, guys, with you. I go inside, and after my workout, when I go inside, first thing I do is I drink my AG1 and creatine. So AG1 for vitamins and minerals and creatine for all the help it gives. And I have protein powder only to supplement my amount of protein in a day if I can't hit my protein goals with regular food. So I just want to make sure I stick to a certain amount of protein, and I'm trying my best, guys, to get rid of this because I still have a lot of this to get rid of here. I'm trying my best, even though I have a major sweet tooth, guys. It's my problem is food. But I'm trying my best to avoid high sugars and high carbs, okay? So if you can put away junk food, I don't eat at fast food places. I don't drink soda, right? You just got to think what you put in is what you get out. And that's something that, I wasn't very good at concentrating on for about the last 20 years of my life, and it showed. So my body was dwindling, my health was dwindling, my belly was growing, my muscles were getting smaller, and it was heading in the definite wrong direction. So I decided to flip it upside down about 1.5 years ago, and I thought, well, you know what? What if I eat better? What if I drink clean water all day? And what if I, take my proper vitamins? And what if I, take a proper amount of protein per day? And what if I actually stick to working out 5 days a week? There's all these what ifs. I guarantee you guys there ain't no what if. We already know the result. If you eat better, you drink cleaner water, you get better sleep, you put down the alcohol, and you start working out 5 days a week, I can promise you this, man. You don't need excuse my language, you don't need steroids, dudes, okay? I'm 46 years old. If you're younger than me, then you should have naturally a higher testosterone level than me. You should. And there are some people that their bodies really have to have the replacement of something that their body's not producing anymore. So I'm not dogging anybody for being on testosterone replacement therapies and these kind of things. But the way you decide is not because you see other people that look jacked, and then you see them look jacked and they say, well, it's because I'm on testosterone replacement therapy. And you go, I got to get me some of that then. No, you got to test your own blood. You got to know where your levels are at for what you need or not. So when I was thinking about like the TRTs and stuff, because how popular is it, right? To see these jacked guys and they're like, yeah, TRT changed my life. Because the reason TRT changed their life is because they probably had their blood tested and the doctor went, whoa, dude, you got low T, man. Your energy levels are probably terrible. You're probably not seeing the results in the gym, all this other stuff. And it's because your testosterone levels are very low for your age. You need to replace those, what should be naturally produced by your body. It's not anymore, man. So we should replace those with artificial testosterone, bring you back up to a level in which you see muscle growth and you get your energy and libido back. Beautiful. When I did my blood test, we were in the low 800s. About a year ago, I did my blood test and I was in the low 800s as far as testosterone levels, which is a very good high level for somebody at my age, even younger than me. So I just didn't need it. If I would have needed it and I would have seen that my testosterone levels were terrible, then I would have maybe wanted to replace some of those. But you got to figure out who you are, run your blood test through a real doctor and get opinions on what it is maybe that you might need to help you progress. But my father was always natural. My father was a natural bodybuilder and grew up in an era where being natural was looked at with some prestige, right? They knew the natural guys would never be as big or as ripped as the guy on all the steroids. But the natural guys knew they could at least live to be 80 or 90 years old, even being a bodybuilder. Whereas a lot of these guys that are doing a lot of these shooting themselves with all sorts of different things to get bigger and more ripped are having major health problems and dying early, right? So it's all what you want, man. I'd rather just be natural and be in the best shape I can be in, not comparing myself to others that are actually doing steroids and are like in bodybuilding competitions. That ain't me, okay? But just try to get in the best shape you can be in. Say, we're all starting in some place. We're all starting at whatever age we're at now. We're all starting with whatever physique we've got now. That's just what it is. And you can make a big change. Literally 6 months. Like 6 months was what it took for me to completely change where other people started noticing. What have you been doing, man? Wow, you look way different. Holy moly, you're in shape now. What have you been doing? About 6 months of dedication. Of just no alcohol, drinking super clean water. I have 2 filtration systems. So I try to drink super clean water, filter it as much as possible. That's what I drink most of the time. I might throw like iced tea with lemon in there and stuff like that. But, drop the alcohol, drink clean water. That's huge right there. It'll start to filter and clean your system out nicely. It gets you much healthier just like that. No alcohol, super clean water, drink a lot of it. That'll help a lot. But then just change the diet a little bit. Try to eat more protein-rich foods and not all these processed crappy foods, right, guys? The sugar, the wheat, the oats, the processed, all the white bread and all this stuff. Try to avoid that as much as possible. Eat clean food, protein-rich food. Eat a lot of meat. I eat tuna. I eat steak. I eat a lot of meat like that. Maybe supplement to get the proper amount of protein in a day with maybe a good, clean protein. Just got a phone call there. But start right back up. Sorry, I got a phone call there during my life. But yeah, guys, so it's good. So if you just change your diet and you change some habits and you start to work out, say 5 days a week, and I like to do about an hour and a half, as you can see, and mostly I'm talking to you now, but I can get something done in about an hour if I'm not live, obviously. So yeah, it's just, common sense and consistency, straight up, man. You know what? People don't want to hear that these days. People want to shoot themselves with Ozempic and all this crap to try to lose weight. And it's like, come on, man. It's only discipline and a little bit of consistency that can completely change your physique. And again, why do you guys think I do physical and financial fitness here in the mornings, guys? Do you think that there's a parallel? Do you think that if it's only 6 months to a year where you can drastically change your physique, do you think it's about 6 months to a year you can drastically change the trajectory of your financial future? Yes. Give your body a break from eating. Stop snacking. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Sam, this is not a political channel. Appreciate you, brother. But if you're new to this, we talk physical and financial fitness. Everything else is probably for someone else's channel because we don't like to get political here. There's always something going on that people can have a tiff about. There's always something going on that red versus blue can argue about. There's always something going on where someone likes the current president or hates the current president. There's always guys, it's a show. So we don't do the political show, for sure. Yeah, Andy, getting in shape helps your mind. Getting in shape helps your mind. And it was said earlier, guys, getting in shape changes other people's opinions about you. And do you think that when you're in shape, when you're a guy that's jacked and has some muscles, when you're a woman that's in shape, do you think that you demand more respect automatically when you walk into a room from other individuals? I guarantee it. So you certainly do get treated differently when you get your butt in shape, that's for sure. Yeah, like I said, Sam, we don't do political talk on here, but thanks, man. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being a part of the live anyways, and giving me a new viewer. But Sam, if you'd like to talk about physical fitness or financial fitness, we'd love to have you back. We do it 6:30 to 8 a.m. Pacific time here, and we chat about how to get more physically fit and financially fit, because bottom line is, guys, it's all a show, baby. It's all a show. We're a part of the show, okay? And while we're looking over here, they're doing some shit over there. Trust me, okay? It's all a show, man. Once you rise above and know that it's a show, then you stop to be so connected or emotional about what's going on, guys. It is certainly a shit show, that's for sure, Dexter. A shit show, and we are the audience. They are captivated watching the movie, and they portray this movie in front of us however they want. Swing our emotions around. So I don't even watch the news anymore. It's ridiculous, guys. My favorite leg exercises are leg extensions. I like leg extensions because I have a bad knee, so when I do squats, it actually hurts. I love squats, but I just can't do them anymore. Every time I squat up and down, even with light weight, my right knee hurts, but I'll still do squats. But I like leg extensions and leg curls. Simple exercises that can be done on a cheap machine. Oh, yeah. But I like calves as well. Calves are underrated leg exercise, guys. To jump higher, to move faster, to play better pickleball, to use your legs in golf and push off the ground for a longer drive. Calves are just overlooked, but calves are pretty important. I'll tell you what is a really good exercise is walking 18 holes of golf. Legs are the biggest and strongest muscle. There ain't no doubt about that, man. Can you get knee braces for your bad knee when squatting? Yeah, I can, and I probably actually should, honestly. You'll see me struggle if you come on Wednesday. I think on Wednesday we'll do leg day, and it's classic, right? If my knee wasn't so beat up and surgerized, it's been chopped up 3 times by surgeons, so my right knee is pretty toast. God, and I wish it wasn't. But I'll tell you what, try to walk, which even hurts my knee too, but try to walk 18 holes of golf if you guys have ever done it. It's not as easy as it is, man. It's very, very hard. And so I try to walk 18 holes of golf once or twice a week if I can. Hey, Sam, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. That's awesome, bro. Yeah, we just come here 6:30 to 8 a.m. Pacific time, Sam. We talk about physical and financial fitness, trying to get people in their best physical shape and best financial shape possible. And I've been able to turn my life around in the last few years financially and physically, and so I know I'm living proof of it can be done. And I want to help people do that too, so thanks for subscribing, dude. If you want to come in, we were talking about the 32-unit apartment build and the 48-unit apartment builds. We're building apartments out in Florida right now. And so just fun talk on how cool it is to go through a process of building an apartment building from the ground up, from the raw land and such. And then we were just doing some chest and some shoulders and some triceps and stuff like that today. So that's what we do here. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate any new subscribers. And if you click the little notification bell, also, when you subscribe, then of course you'll get notified every morning on your YouTube when I come live, and you can come join me. And it's raw, unscripted. We like to have fun, and I just like to participate with the audience, you guys, and try to be here to answer questions, because otherwise I'd be in here working out and educating myself, listening to other people's content, because that's what I did for the past year and a half. So yeah, for the past year and a half or so, I've been out here working out 5 days a week in my garage, but what I decided to do was educate myself. So I've been doing a lot of educating myself on, cryptocurrency, the world economy, and everything like that, because I listen to a lot. There's a lot of education you can get in an hour and a half while you're working out. Is it best to make the dumbbells tap each other for chest press? No. I mean, there's not a best. It's just whatever feels comfortable for you. I just tap for rhythm. I don't know. It's just an old habit. It's not necessarily better or worse to do that. But I just tap. For me, like the little tap just symbolizes that I pushed the rep all the way up. I don't know. It's just a mental thing. But no, you don't have to tap the weights. You don't have to tap the weights at all. Certainly not better or worse. It's just what you like. My main point, guys, at 46 years old, just finally getting myself in some sort of fair shape when I was horribly out of shape. It's about just getting in your best shape you can. And, the big deal is, are you doing a couple different sets of chest exercises per week or are you not? Whether you tap the weight up at the top of the rep or not is not the big deal. How many months of emergency funds should you save up for? At least 3 months. Some experts would say more, but here's the thing. I want to sit on enough cash only for it to be a strict emergency fund. The reason why, I'm a professional investor, guys. I've been investing professionally full-time since 2018. So when I look at money, I look at money as a tool now. So I think of money differently, right? My mindset has changed with money. So then you would say, whenever I get any money, my goal is to put the money to work. So if you have money sitting, it's becoming worthless. And think of that word, worthless. 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 So money is becoming worth less because of inflation. So if you just have cash sitting, the cash is being depleted invisibly. Even though the same amount of cash is sitting there, like say I put $5,000 in a savings account. Well, 6 months later, I can go get the $5,000 out and it's still $5,000. So I haven't lost any money. But it's not true because the spending power of the dollar is decreasing as they print more money, especially over the next 3 years. So inflation is going to get worse. So if your money's just sitting and not working and earning a return, if it's just sitting, then it's actually losing its value. It's becoming worth less as time goes on. How about Bitcoin? Good time to buy the dip? I would say, I don't give financial advice. But yeah, sure. I mean, guys, look, Bitcoin is becoming a new store of wealth like gold. They're calling it digital gold. So if you would invest in gold and you understand everything is moving towards digital currencies, which it is, then Bitcoin might be a good buy for long-term hold, right? I don't think it's a get-rich-quick thing. But I think that buying Bitcoin to have it as a store of wealth, I mean, you can count on the fact that by 2030, Bitcoin is going to be 200 grand or more per coin, in my opinion. Okay? So, these are heavy. So we're doing some heavy tricep press downs now. Almost heavy enough to hurt your elbows. So, yeah, I think Bitcoin's a good play. Oh, you buy Bitcoin through MicroStrategy, Sam? That's wild, huh? So, yeah, Michael Saylor with MicroStrategies, right? Which now is Strategy B. That's a crazy story, isn't it? I don't know if you guys know that story, but Sam is saying he buys Bitcoin through MicroStrategies. So Sam doesn't have to custody his own cryptocurrency. Sam doesn't have to buy his own Bitcoin and have his own wallet keys and all that stuff. Sam gets to invest into MicroStrategy. And MicroStrategy now has changed its demeanor, operating as Strategy B. So MicroStrategy was a software company, and MicroStrategy was getting eaten up after COVID, and Microsoft was stealing all their employees. Their company was dead. And they pulled some magic, and he decided to take a big risk. So Michael Saylor changed his whole company from a software company to a Bitcoin investment company, straight up. So if Sam's saying he buys Bitcoin through MicroStrategies, which is now Strategy B, he's investing with a public company that is one of the largest Bitcoin holders in the world and continues to just bet their whole entire future on that. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Yep. So, I mean, hey, it's like Michael Saylor's going to be one of the most brilliant, richest guy in the world here soon, or one of the dumbest people, and everybody's going to laugh at him. But it takes some cojones to do what he's done. And so far, it has worked out for him. Pretty darn good. So, yeah, it is insane, Sam. But that's a good call. And if you're going to buy Bitcoin, you might as well buy it through MicroStrategies. They're more protected than us trying to keep our Bitcoin from theft or fraud or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, is Bitcoin still a good buy? I think so. Depends on your investment strategy, right? And just let you guys know, I'm not telling anybody what to go invest in, but my biggest holding is XRP. So I started buying XRP when it was 49 cents per coin. And it's my largest holding because I really do believe that XRP will be one of the most important pieces of our new financial system. So I'm betting long-term on XRP. I'm buying as much as I can, and I'll just wait. I'm buying all the dips and just accumulating a bag, and we'll see what it's worth in 2029. I keep telling all my friends and family, I'm just going to see what it's all worth in 2029. And in 2029, I'm going to make some financial moves. What's my top favorite stocks? Well, I mean, any stocks that have, surrounding AI, right? I mean, AI is taking over, guys. Yeah, AI is certainly a bubble, guys. Remember the dot-com era? So there was a dot-com bubble because everybody got into dot-coms and it was the hot thing. So everybody gets into dot-coms and only a few of them are going to survive. A lot of them fail. Same with AI, right? AI is a huge thing. It's going to be everybody's getting into it. There's all these new AI programs. Everything's coming out, and a lot of those things will fail, and then they'll end up with the good ones. So yeah, I think in stocks, I would be betting on AI right now. Obviously, it's where the world is heading. And yeah, it's a bubble, so I'd be very careful. I'd be looking at management team, company structure, future plans, and really study the white papers, really understand what the hell's going on with the company you're investing in, because in the stock market, you're betting on somebody's business, right? Publicly traded companies. So you're betting on investing in someone's company, and you're saying, is that company going to be around 10, 15, 20 years from now? And if they are, how important are they going to be with their product or their service? So that's how I would, evaluate investing in a stock. And yeah, it's a bubble. There's going to be a lot of AI companies that come out and do good things and then fail quickly and get taken over by a different entity or a different company. So it's very dangerous, but it's speculative. So you must zone a certain port of your, it's hard to talk to you guys. You must zone a certain portion of your portfolio for speculation, and it should be a small part where you're willing to risk and lose the money. It wouldn't kill you if you lost the money, but also if it hit really big, it could really add to your portfolio. So I would say that, in the speculative arena, you don't put a lot of your money in there. In fact, I like to invest, guys, you've heard me say this, I like to invest in speculative plays that are high risk, high return, and I like to invest in the high risk, high return speculative plays with what I like to call house money. So I'll take my money and I'll invest my money into like a mortgage note, because a mortgage note spits off passive cash flow monthly. So what I'll do is invest my money into a mortgage note. And then as the cash flow is spit off monthly by that asset that I own, which secures my principal and avoids me risk of losing my money. So I secure my principal, I collateralize my principal, I put in an investment with a way better than average yield, and this investment is spitting me off monthly cash flow, okay? That's what I buy first. Then the monthly cash flow that's coming each month from that asset I own is deployable capital that is really more so house money that I can put into assets that are highly speculative. So, yep. Hi, good morning, good afternoon. I like AI stocks, NVIDIA, yeah. Amazon, Google. Well, Amazon and Google are always going to be good plays for long term, right? Palantir. Well, if you don't like their business model, guys, yeah, and assisting surveillance and that kind of thing, obviously we're not going to avoid this, the surveillance state that's coming. It's coming no matter what we do. So if you can't avoid it, might as well study it and get rich off of it. Ain't that right? But yeah, guys, awesome. So that's what we do here. We come here live in my little garage gym. We call it the dungeon. My little garage gym where I work out 6:30 to 8 a.m. Pacific time, live on this YouTube channel. And we come for a live Q&A session. I'm a professional investor. I buy mortgage notes for cash flow, and we're building apartments in Florida. So we talk about financial independence here, how to gain your financial freedom, how to get better financially fit, and also, too, if I can actually motivate you guys to get better physically. So we try to get in our best shape physically, in our best shape financially, and that's what we talk about here on my channel. And we're going to be right back here tomorrow, and tomorrow we're going to do some pulling exercises. So tomorrow we're going to do everything that we pull towards us. So we're going to work our back, we're going to work our traps, we're going to work our biceps, we're going to work our forearms, and we'll go at it tomorrow morning once again. And I'll figure out how my day goes today, guys, and I'll get some inspiration on what we want to talk about tomorrow. But again, it's for you guys. So if you come tomorrow, come with some questions about how to become more physically fit or financially fit. I love bantering back and forth with y'all. Sam's on, a new subscriber. Favorite health drug stock? Question, Eli Lilly. I'm not studying stocks much right now, Sam, so I'm not a really good guy to ask. I'm always honest about my lane. And right now, I'm not studying stocks too much. And I'm not really concentrating on investing in stocks too much. So I'm investing in the real estate plays, the apartment developments, and secured collateralized mortgage note investments for cash flow is kind of where I'm putting all my money right now. And I'm doing some crypto plays. And the crypto plays I'm making are because I do believe there are some cryptos that will be very important to running our new financial system. You guys know they're making a shift from the old archaic banking system we've been run on for the last 100 years to a new, faster digital system. That's where we're heading. So I'm trying to choose wisely in some investments that I think, by way of conviction, studies, and opinion, will be a very important part of the new financial system. So in that, guys, you have HBAR, you have Solana, you have VeChain, you have Bitcoin's obviously digital gold. Won't be used much in the new banking system. But then you have XRP, which I believe is the king. So I place most investments on diverse ETFs and treasury bonds. That's very good, man. That is very good. Oftentimes I'm getting double-digit yields in my note investments. And so if I put money into a note and I'm earning 12, 13, 14, 15% annualized returns with collateral and potential upside and monthly cash flow that's compoundable, that's where I like to put it in there. Because a lot of the investments, guys, that are safe and a good place to store your money don't produce monthly cash flow. That's one of the caveats. And monthly cash flow is super important to me. Physically fit comes from the top first. It's mindset. There ain't no doubt, baby. Dexter knows. Dexter lost a lot of weight. Dexter looks like the thin man now compared to when I met him. So yeah, it is all about diet, guys. What you put in, you get out. And then, guys, it's consistent exercise. Yeah, 10% treat yourself, right? You got to take, you got to taste something good every now and again. We are human. So, well, ran a little long today, guys. It's been a fun conversation though. And, like you guys know, we're going to try to get in our best physical shape and our best financial shape here in the morning, 6:30 to 8 a.m. Pacific time. So subscribe, hit the bell if you haven't. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Back here tomorrow to do curls, shoulders, traps, biceps, forearms, right? We want to get those forearms nice and jacked. Sure helps with the golf game. So guys, we'll be back here tomorrow. It's a pleasure. And we're going to be do some physical and financial fitness with me. And we'll answer some questions. We'll be transparent. We'll be open book. And it'll be unscripted like always. So I appreciate you, Poncho. Good stuff, man. It's all good, man. We're here to have conversations with one another. I love when you guys participate. When all my chats here are starting to go off and I'm getting people that are communicating with me and it's fun for me to banter back and forth with you guys, really makes my day and really makes my workout and me being able to offer you guys some value a lot easier for both of us. So I love your participation. I thank you much, Poncho. I thank you, Sam, Dexter, all you guys for being on here as usual. And yeah, we will be back here tomorrow, guys. So I'm going to finish off with a couple more sets of triceps here. And then we're going to call it. We're going to go inside. We're going to drink our 12 ounces of filtered clean water with our AG1 and our creatine in it. And that'll get our day going. And then, we got to get to work. We got to make that money. All right, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Ciao.